Hey everyone, Kimberly Rivera here with Keller Realty, Central Delaware. I wanted to just kind of chat with Arlene Benton, as she's been my go-to person when it comes to closings in Delaware, and ask her a couple of questions on how she's keeping everyone safe and respecting the new restrictions that the governor has put in place for us as we were deemed non-essential in the state of Delaware. So Arlene Benton, tell us a little bit about yourself and we'll go into questions.
Hi, everybody. Arlene Benton. I'm a local real estate attorney in Delaware. Been practicing for about 20 years. I'm with Benton, Lynn Law. And so real estate, as usual, keeps giving us different twists. So this is a new one.
Isn't that the truth? So there was a whole bunch of different options that we could kind of go through on how we can continue to keep business moving forward. And one of the questions that I have for you that someone has posted is, how will you continue to hold settlement that for those clients that are already under contract prior to the COVID-19?
Sure. So what we have done, and what a lot of law firms in Delaware have done, well, first of all, the governor's restrictions deem that law firms are essential. So we are still allowed to conduct business. However, what our firm is doing is we are doing as much via phone conferences as possible, but with this settlement, you can't do that. So we are sending seller documents to the sellers for them to print and sign in the presence of a notary elsewhere, and then they can either deliver them to our office or have their agent drop them off. So we are restricting our settlements to just buyers who are signing. So normally we would welcome buyers and their family because settlement's usually an exciting time. But at this time, to keep everybody healthy, we're only allowing signers in. So we are informing the agents and the lenders they're welcome to join in via telephone or via Skype or some of these other platforms like Zoom. But we are restricting entrance into our office to just the buyers who are signing. We are also, between each and every settlement, disinfecting and cleaning and wiping down all the chairs, the conference room table. We're encouraging people to take the pens. We're leaving out a limited number of pens so that if they don't take them, then we know they have to be disinfected. And then we also have gloves. And the conference room is large enough that we can have buyers sit at the other end of the table. So we're keeping in with the 6-foot rule. So.
Okay, great. So then what I'm hearing you say is that it's probably more important ever
Yes.
right now that real estate agents really review the closing disclosures and all of our documents ahead of time, because if we're not there to be able to catch some of that stuff, but we are on the phone,
Right.
that would be a good idea. Okay. So tell me a little bit about, are we allowed, because this is a question that comes up a lot, are we allowed today to put somebody under contract and go through closing prior to the restriction of May 15th?
Yes, so the realtors can still do showings. They can still put people under contract. I know a lot of the contracts are done via DocuSign and other electronic platforms, which was always allowed anyway in Delaware,
right?
For the signing and execution of contracts. So I believe most agents are taking measures, to make sure they and their clients are safe as they're showing homes, such as wearing gloves and taking wipes with you and just trying to make sure everybody's safe. But yes, everybody can still go under contract. It'll continue to be done digitally, but it shouldn't hold up new contracts being executed.
Okay. And in line with that, with the fact that the recorder of deeds office and things like that are closed, how are we able to do title searches and protect the clients from that standpoint?
So even though the recorder of deeds and other public offices are closed to the public, the searchers themselves can still do a lot of their research, because a lot of the records are online anyway. So our title companies are still able to do, to perform the title searches and email them to the attorney's offices, just like they did in the past. A lot of offices e-record their documents. So same thing, the recorders, the people are there and they are still recording documents behind the scenes, but they're just not open to the public. For those that don't e-record, I know Kent County Recorder of Deeds actually has a truck with like a drop box in it right in front of it, so they can periodically go empty out the drop box and get the documents and record them.
Okay. That's helpful. Thank you for explaining that. That's been a big topic amongst the agents in my office, so we appreciate you answering that.
Sure.
You kind of given us a lot of information. Is there anything that you want us to know as agents while we're working with you through this process?
Just as always with real estate, but even more now, just communication, making sure that, you know, as many documents are emailed to the attorney's office and that we're all just continuing to communicate via email. That way everyone has copies of what they need, so that if we are going to settlement, same thing, we need to communicate with the agents and make sure you guys get copies of the settlement statements and the closing disclosures so you can review it, so that if you are attending a settlement via Skype or FaceTime or Zoom or anything else, you will be looking at the same documents as we are, and that way if you do see a flag, you can question it, or you know, if there's some revision that needs to be made, we can still get it done. So you guys can still look out for your clients, but if there are any different addenda or invoices or anything else, just make sure as usual that you're emailing them to the settlement attorney.
Cross our T's, dot our I's.
Yes.
And just to keep it a little bit on the lighter side before we're done today is, so because this is a question I got too, is if we have a closing gift for our client, are we allowed to drop it off to you?
Yeah, you should be able to drop that off. That's not a problem. Yeah. So we are still coordinating obviously with the agents because we still got it, we still have to receive the escrow deposit, right? And so a lot of times those are dropped off as well. And then we're also going to have to coordinate with you guys as well to make sure we're getting you a signed settlement statement and your checks as well. So yes, we'll make sure you can drop off those gifts, and we will definitely look them for you.
Okay, good. So one last question, because you brought it up about the escrow checks, is would you right now recommend that we continue to hold them at our office in the non-interest bearing account with our office, or straight to the attorney given the circumstances that we're in today?
You could probably do either one, but I would probably still just leave them at your office because, as we know, even before this, settlements get delayed. And so if there's a delay, or especially if it's a new construction or something like that, it may be months before it goes settlement anyway. And so we're going to be positive that all of the craziness will end soon. And so by the time those new construction or other deals that may be delayed settle, that it'll just be business as usual.
That sounds pretty good to me. Arlene, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And it is okay if anyone has any questions that they can reach out to you directly.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. We're still open for business. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you.